David Jordan is the private advisor to CEOs, specialising in creating results through strategic innovation. Welcome to this week's segment.
We've worked with clients around the world solving a variety of problems in different organisations. There's some interesting challenges that we found where people were looking at the problem the wrong way, and just by simply changing the way they thought about the business problem, they came up with great innovations and new solutions. One company that we were asked to come in to help with was a direct marketing book retailer, and they had a problem of trying to rebuild growth. It was an interesting environment because a lot of how the business was driven was by editorial staff, and they were looking at product by how it looked, not what its value was to the customer. So when you're thinking about a web page and you think about the real estate of a web page and that you want to try and get your high revenue items high up on that web page, the editors were actually looking at what looked the prettiest, or what was the best looking cover, and often they would be giving what was looking good preference over something that actually provided better return to the organisation. And it's just simple things like that that can have an innovative impact on profit. Another organisation that we were involved in was the shipping industry. And the shipping industry was a very good example of how cost-cutting virtually was bringing it to its knees. Came to this organisation where staff actually couldn't go on leave because they were doing 3 people's jobs and there was nobody to replace them. And then we sat down and looked at the problems of the business, and it wasn't that the business wasn't profitable, it was that the business was not looking at how to maximise the return. The shipping industry, people thought that the biggest asset was ships. We actually identified that the biggest asset was containers. There was more capital tied up in containers than there were in the ships. Then you looked at it, and what happened was that some goods were brought over from another country on a container. They were taken out to the distributor, and the distributor was using the containers as free storage. And they could be sitting out at somebody's site for 2 years. And that was capital of the shipping company. So when we changed around the focus, not on managing the ships, but managing the container, and introduced container systems, we started driving growth around it. We found scenarios where they were sending 2,000 empty refrigerated containers overseas at the same time as they were asking them to bring 2,000 refrigerated containers back to another local port. Simple mistakes like that were costing them a big business. So changing the focus from ships to managing containers started driving profit. But again, this is an important part of remembering how are we solving the customers' problems. The customers were keeping containers on site as free storage. So we were able to create a new business of hiring containers as temporary storage. So move something from something that was free storage to actually earning revenue from providing a service that the customer needed. These are just sort of the types of examples of innovation in small ways that can have a big impact on business.
To get your copy of David Jordan's book, The CEO Innovation Blueprint, go to his website, theceoblueprint.com.au.